Today, we're taking a look at a plugin that can eliminate one of the biggest enemies of any mixing engineer, and that is line noise. When you're a mixing engineer, you don't really have any control over the tracks being sent to you. You have to deal with whatever noise is on the track. And line noise can come from a multitude of places. It can come from DI boxes, noisy amps, noisy guitars. It could come from dirty power in the building that they're in with a bad grounding system. When it comes to the noise, you could always go with the noise gate. Like sometimes you can get it set up where it cuts out the noise in between when the guitarist is playing, or you could just cut that part of the track, but then you still have like some essence of the noise and a hum inside the track itself. But what if you could just eliminate that noise entirely? Now, maybe you won't get rid of all of it, but you can take it down to where it's only noticeable when a track is soloed up. That's where the XNoise from Waves comes in. Now, this isn't really a new plugin to the game, and of course, Waves has been around for a while, but they have so many plugins that just start flying under the radar after a certain amount of time. It's always nice to bring them back up. But before we really get into the plugin itself, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like and comment down below. Tell me what you think about the XNoise from Waves, and be sure to subscribe. It helps out my channel a lot. So there's a lot that the XNoise can do, and I'm sure that I don't even know how to do all the parameters. They have a speech focus preset. They have a heavy comp hiss removal. There's just a lot that it can do. But today I'm just going to focus on how I use it and how I used it for this recording. So I pulled out the guitar and brought it into a different session. This is a guitar track from a mixing project that I'm working on where they reached out to a guitarist and they had him overdub his parts after the fact, and they just sent them directly to me. There was no chance of an overdub, or there was no chance of a redo. And honestly, I don't know if there's anything that he could have done differently. But in his guitar tones, and this may have just been a heavy distortion, this may have just been an overdrive pedal, there is a nice hum in the line noise. Let me throw this into bypass, and I'm just going to show you what the hum sounds like in the guitar. It's a pretty nasty tone in that guitar, but with the settings I use and how I set it up and how I've learned to set it up, it can take it from that to this. The line noise is still somewhat there, but it is less perceivable than before. And honestly, once you get it in the context of a whole mix, you're not going to be able to pick it out. So what I'm going to do is I just reset it to factory default, and I'm going to show you the methods for how I use the XNoise. So the first step I take is I highlight an area that is just line noise like this. Nasty stuff, but you need like the cleanest or the most isolated version of the line noise for the XNoise to pick out. So what you do is you click learn next to the noise profile here, and then you just hit play, and it'll pick up the profile of the line noise that you're dealing with. Then once you turn it off, you see that is the line, that is the profile of the noise that you had a couple seconds ago. And then from there, I just hit play and I adjust the threshold and reduction to eliminate it. Now, the one thing you have to keep in mind is that if you take the threshold too high, you will start losing the signal clarity of whatever it is you're working with. So it's good to figure it out on the isolated noise, but then also be sure to listen through the rest of the track whenever the instrument is playing to make sure you are not killing whatever is there. See, when I take it to 100, like you can hear a big difference in the loss in the line noise when it's by itself. And then you don't hear it really kill much of the track itself once you start playing. It's really when you start adjusting the threshold too high that it kills the guitar. It starts acting like an actual gate. Something else I like to look at is I like to look at the dynamics. Most of the time, I try to make the attack and release pretty quick, just because I want to try to eliminate as much line noise as possible while also giving the cleanest guitar signal that I can. And doing that, I've found personally makes it a little bit better. You also have gain control as well as a frequency shelf. This helps you with the high-end clarity of the frequencies. Here, you see here along the bottom, this is the frequency spectrum. It goes from 10 all the way to 10K that you're working with. That's generally where the line noise comes in. Another way to tell if you are killing the signal of your guitar is you can highlight it, play it back, switch it from audio to difference. You can hear on the difference side what it is that is being eliminated. And you hear that is all sounds and frequencies and noise that I wouldn't want on my track, so it's doing exactly what I want it to do. Now, the XNoise is not always going to do everything perfectly because it works great on this high gain section here. But as soon as you come over to this clean guitar section here, you hear it just start killing the tone of the guitar. You hear it just kills any pluckiness, any of the attack of the guitar. It just dulls it out completely. So you need to be sure to listen through the entire track whenever you kick the XNoise on something. Like I said, it works great up in this section, but as soon as you reach a clean guitar tone, dead. But there's really not much to the XNoise itself. It's a great plugin for helping you clean up your live mixes from recordings. And honestly, just doing something simple like this just builds more character and more credibility to your name in how professional you can make things sound, despite any lackluster recording methods. So I would definitely recommend having this plugin or some similar plugin. I know there are plugins from iZotope. I know that whole, I believe it's the RX series, their noise reduction and cleanup tools are some of the best in the game. But if you're looking for something simple that doesn't take quite as much in-depth work, the XNoise is perfect. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below. Tell me what you think of the XNoise. If you have anything that you know about it that I didn't cover, please let me know. I want to learn too. As much as this is me showing you guys, I want you to teach me as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next Tuesday.